Hare Rama, Hare Rama. Jai Jai Radhe, Jaya Jaya Shyam, Jaya Jaya Shri Vrindavan Dham. Jaya Jaya Shri Vrindavan. Jaya Jaya Radhe, Jaya Jaya Shyam, Jaya Jaya Shri Vrindavan Dham. Jaya Jaya Shri Vrindavan Dham. Jaya Govardhan, Jaya Jaya Nandagam, Jaya Jaya Shri Bharatanodham. Jaya Nandagam, Jaya Jaya Shri. Jaya Jaya Radhe, Jaya Jaya Shyam, Jaya Jaya Shri Vrindavan Dham. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. कलियुग पावन हरि नाम संकीर्तन की, श्री श्री राधा विनोद की, श्री श्री जगन्नाथ बलदेव सुभद्रा महारानी की, श्री श्री गौर निताय की, श्रील प्रभुपाद की, समावेत गौर भक्त वृंद की, श्री राधाष्टमी महामहोत्सव की। ओम अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपः कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरोः श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणरघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनासहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगणललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च नमो ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिन्निति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे। नमो महावदन्याय कृष्णप्रेमप्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्णचैतन्यनाम्ने गौरत्विषे नमः। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधो दीनबंधो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमोस्तुते। तप्तकांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम राम राम। Welcome all of you on this most auspicious festival day of Srimati Radharani's appearance. Let us begin with this. Yes. Hari Om. This is Brahmanda Purana.
घाने राधा राधा पृष्ठे पुरस्थिता
यत्र
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 स्थिता
स्थिता
राधा
राधा
राधैवाराध्यते मया जिह्वा राधाश्रुतौ राधा राधा नेत्रे हृदि स्थिता सर्वाङ्गव्यापिनी राधा राधैवाराध्यते मया पूजा राधा जपो राधा राधिका चाभिवन्दने श्रुतौ राधा शिरो राधा राधैवाराध्यते मया घाने राधा गुणे राधा राधिका भोजने गतौ रात्रौ राधा दिवा राधा राधैवाराध्यते मया माधुर्ये मधुरा राधा महत्त्वे राधिका गुरुः सौन्दर्ये सुन्दरी राधा राधैवाराध्यते मया राधा रससुधा सिन्धु राधा सौभाग्यमञ्जरी राधा व्रजाङ्गना मुख्या राधैवाराध्यते मया राधा पद्मानना पद्मा पद्मोद्भवसुपूजिता पद्मे विवेचिता राधा राधैवाराध्यते मया राधा कृष्णात्मिका नित्यं
कृष्णो राधात्मको ध्रुवम् वृन्दावनेश्वरी राधा राधैवाराध्यते मया
जिह्वाग्रे
राधिका नाम नेत्राग्रे राधिका तनुः कर्णे च राधिका कीर्तिर्मानसे राधिका सदा कृष्णेन पठितं स्तोत्रं राधिका प्रीतये परम् यः पठेत् प्रयतो नित्यं राधा कृष्णान्तिको भवेत् आराधितः मनः कृष्णो राधाराधितमानसः
कृष्णा कृष्णपरा राधा राधा कृष्णेति यः पठेत्
So this is a translation of that. So it says Radha is in the home, Radha is in the forest, she is both behind and before me. I worship the all-pervading Radhaji, wherever she is present. Radha is in my tongue, in my ears, in my eyes and inside my heart. I worship Radhaji who is within the bodies of all. She is in my puja, in my mantra japa, in my prayers, in my memory, and in my head. I worship that Radhaji, and then he's saying, whenever I sing about the qualities of Radha. Everything I eat is Radha's prasad. Wherever I go, I always remember Radha. Radha is in the night, in the day, I worship. Radha is the sweetness within everything that is sweet, of anything that is important. Radha is the most important, and of everything that is beautiful, she is the supreme beauty. Radha is an ocean of nectarian rasa. Radha is the flower bud of all good fortune. Radha is the foremost gopi of Raja. I worship that Radhaji. And then, because Radha's face is like a spotless lotus flower, she is known as Padma. She is worshipped by Brahma, who appeared on the lotus emanating from Vishnu's navel. And when she was first discovered by her father, she was resting upon a lotus. I worship that Radhaji. Radha is eternally immersed in Sri Krishna. Krishna is certainly always immersed in Radha, and Radha is the queen of Vrindavan. I worship that Radhaji. Radha's name is on the tip of my tongue. Radha's beautiful form is always before my eyes. Descriptions of Radha's fame are always in my ears, and Radha always resides in my mind. Whoever regularly recites with great care this prayer spoken by Sri Krishna will attain loving service for the lotus feet of Sri Radha Krishna. Srimati Radhika worships Sri Krishna in her heart and mind, and Krishna worships Srimati Radhika in his heart and mind. Sri Krishna attracts Radhika's heart and mind, and Radhika attracts Krishna's heart and mind. Whoever lovingly recites this prayer will become similarly attracted to the lotus feet of Sri Radha Krishna. Srimati Radharani ki. So I played this right in the beginning because it's from authentic scripture, like Brahmanda Puran, Sri Radha Stotram. There is also Radha Karan Kripa Kataksha Stotram also is there by spoken by Lord Shiva to Parvati. That's also very, very beautiful. So there are many Shastric glorification of Srimati Radharani. Sometimes people tend to think that the pastimes of Vrindavan and what we often hear about in ISKCON is something, it's Hare Krishnas have started or something like that, people think. And that is why it's always good to go sometimes to the Puranas and Vedas and then see for ourselves. There are so many, I'm just showing one or two. There are many, many like this about Srimati Radharani. So if you want to understand the Radha Krishna Tattva, then we should go to Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, because Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu will help us to yeah. The Adi Leela, first chapter, there is explanation about why Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appears in this world. See here, as Krishna appears for two reasons. Prema Rasa Aswadana. He says, I come for relishing the Krishna. Krishna says, actually, one comes in this world for one reason, is to enjoy the rasas. And then second line is, second column you see, Ragamarga Bhakti Pracharana. He relishes his own rasa, and also he preaches the Bhakti Prachar. And when Krishna comes to destroy the demons, that is incidental, that's not a very important thing for him. Similarly, when Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appears, Prema Rasa Aswadan happens in three aspects, which is explained here. To know the greatness of Radharani, to taste his own sweetness, to experience, to know the experience of Radharani, which means what she experiences when she practices devotional service. So, like I was telling you before, yesterday, the subject is so vast. I am trying to touch some very vital aspects so that devotees can benefit. For example, just 1 minute. So when you have to understand Radharani, then we can talk about. Yesterday we began with this to summarize what we learned yesterday. In the beginning, I was telling about Prabhupada writes in the first canto, first verse, purport. Krishna is not just God who generates, operates, and destroys. He's an absolute truth. So how is absolute truth? He is Paramatatva, Sarva Shaktiman, Akhila Rasamrita Murti. So these three aspects Prabhupada has very nicely explained in his books. How Paramatatva means Govindam Adi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. That's how Krishna is Parama. He's cause of all causes. In Bhagavad Gita, anybody can say what are the three things that are said about Krishna. He's the cause of all causes, then he's the essence of everything, and he's the very best of everything. So where does Krishna says he's the cause of all causes? Go to the verses 7.4 and 7.5. Anybody knows what is the 7.4 verse? Bhumi Rapo Nalavai. What is 7.5? Aparinyamitasvanya. In 7.4, he has told all material worlds come from me. And 7.5, he says all the spiritual worlds come from him. So ultimately, both material and spiritual worlds come from Krishna. He's the cause of all. Anything you take in this world, you will see that its root is Krishna. If I'm drinking milk, milk comes from cow. Cow gives milk by eating grass. Grass comes by rain shower. Rain shower comes from the clouds. Clouds get the water from the ocean. The ocean water is evaporated by the sun. And then Krishna says, Yasyajñaya brahmatika sambritakala chakro govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami. By Krishna's order, the sun is moving. And then therefore the cause of the milk I drink is ultimately Krishna. It's the cause of all causes. If you're eating a mango, where did the mango come from? It comes from a seed. Where did the seed come from? Previous mango tree. How did that mango tree come from previous seed? If you go to the root, who is the original giver of all seeds? Who is the original giver of all seeds? Krishna. He says, where he says that 14.4 Bhagavad Gita. What he says? Sarvayonisha kaunteya murteya sambhavantiyaha tasam brahma mahat yonir aham bija pradaha pita. I am the seed giver of all 8.4 million species. So in this way, when you study Bhagavad Gita, you understand Krishna is Paramatatva. And he is Sarva Shaktiman. Go to the 9th chapter of the Gita. He says, how I create these universes. He says, Sarva Bhutani Kaunte Prakritim Yanti Mamikam Kalpakshaye Punastani Kalpada Visrujamyaham. He says, I create them and then Bhutagrama Sevayam Bhutva Reliyate. I create them, annihilate them. Effortlessly, just like a child may take a soap water and a straw or something and blow and produce hundreds and thousands of bubbles. Like that, Krishna produces universes effortlessly. And he withdraws also. So, Sarva Shaktiman. He is Jnana, Bala, Aishwarya, Virya, Shakti, Teja. All these things are in infinite proportion in him. Jnana, Bala, Aishwarya, all these things. So, second is Sarva Shaktiman. Thirdly, Krishna is Akila Rasamrita Murti. So, the first two are not as important as the third one. So, what is the third one? He is the greatest reciprocator of love with his devotees. And in his exchange of love, the topmost thing is how he exchanges love with even peacocks and deers and cows and calves and Yamuna. Even the trees and plants. Generally in this world, the trees and plants are not appearing to be very conscious. But when Krishna is present in Vrindavan, even the trees are offering flowers and fruits. So he reciprocates love with everybody. It is said in Vrindavan, there is not a single tree which Krishna has not touched and accepted the fruits and flowers. So first we have to understand Krishna's identity and with these three items. Yesterday briefly I spoke that. And then Krishna's human-like behavior. We saw that 18 items we said, isn't it? No, the 18 defects in humans appear in Krishna's pastimes to enhance the sweetness of his pastimes. How? For example, in this world people tell lies. So Krishna also tells lies to Yashoda, isn't it? That he never stole butter. But his telling lies makes the pastime sweeter. Of course, Lord Narayana never speaks for lies. He always is Satya Sankalpa. He speaks the truth. Whereas when the same Narayana comes, he is in Krishna form, when he tells lies to Yashoda, he becomes more sweeter. Isn't it? Similarly, Lord Narayana is Madhava, husband of goddess of fortune. Isn't it? So naturally, he is not a Lakpati, Karudapati, Arapati, Karapati or something. What is he? Lakshmipati. So he doesn't need any Lakshmi from anybody. But when he is Krishna, he steals. Only generally a thief is supposed to steal. Because thief is in want of some money. But he steals. So like that, there are 18 items that explain. When human beings do those things, they are abominable and they are punishable. But when Krishna does those things, his beauty is enhanced many times. So, Shri Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur gives a nice example for this. He says, say for example, there may be two friends who may have a formal friendship, or they may have a very informal friendship. How? Like if somebody comes to your home, they may ask you, please may I come in? And then they may sit in a sofa in the drawing room. Whereas if it is an intimate friend, he will just barge into your house and go to kitchen and open the fridge and take out some sandwich. And he'll ask your mother, what are you making? Pakoda, please bring me also. Isn't it very informal? You may have some friends like that, correct now? Because they are very much a part of your house. You consider them more than your blood brother also. Intimately like that. So, which is more sweeter? Informal or formal? Informal has much more thickness. Somebody may say, what is this? How can you barge into somebody's house and take out things from the fridge? Of course, everybody cannot do that. Who can do that? Intimate. When there is intimacy, we can do that. So, therefore, when Krishna behaves human-like behavior when he shows, he doesn't, like he may appear to be stealing, but stealing is to enhance the sweetness of the relationship. Otherwise, so Chakravarti Thakur gives the example. He says that if a friend is purchasing, say, 2 boxes of Son Papdi, and then he gives you one, you may immediately take out some 200 rupees and give him. And then he also accepts, thank you. So he purchased 2 boxes, but he gave you one, but you paid him because you thought it's not proper to take money from him. It's a very formal relationship. Informal relationship means you ask your friend, hey, you're buying 2 boxes, I think one for you, one for me. And he will say, who said one for you? I bought one for me, one for my mama, he says. He doesn't give you, he takes it with him. Last day of the yatra, you find he has kept that second box in your suitcase. You go and ask him, hey, you said you have to give it to mama, you are kept in my suitcase. He will say, who's my mama? You are my mama, he says. So that relationship is more intimate. So therefore, Krishna behaves like a human in order to increase the sweetness. See, God is not just a punisher of the evil. For that, he has already posted Yamaraj. There is no great this thing in that. He has so many people to do such work. God is not a creator of the universe. That also he has posted Mahavishnu to do that. Isn't it? There are so many people who can do it for him. Although in Bhagavatam he says, Madhbayat vati vatoyam suryastapati madhbayat. He says, by my order, sun is rising, sun is setting, moon is rising, moon is setting, wind is blowing, fire is burning, crops are growing, clouds are showering. Like that he says. All these are happening in this world by my order. But he doesn't directly order also. He doesn't want to just do these official things. He just appoints somebody. Like you will see, a owner of a business, when it comes to running his company, he will post one CEO, pay him a good salary, and that fellow will run the company. But he will be playing with his son in the garden, like giving him a joyride like a horse or something. Because he's a millionaire, billionaire. He doesn't have to run the company himself. He may just go at 12 o'clock and come back at 1 o'clock, collect the money and bring it, that's all. Similarly, Krishna also comes to this world occasionally, but his activities are in the spiritual world with his devotees. So, when he comes also here, he gives a glimpse of how the spiritual world is. What a sweet and intimate place it is, how he deals with his devotees, so that we get attracted to return back to Godhead. So that was one thing I spoke yesterday briefly. Then the third thing, after that I told you, was then we went to the gopis, who are the topmost devotees. It's not mundane. We explained many things yesterday regarding this lust and love, iron and gold. And then I also explained 10 reasons why ordinary living entities cannot imitate Krishna's rasa dance. We saw that yesterday. So these things are very important. We cannot rush through in the philosophy. We have to go, first the ABC should be learned, then you learn the words, then you learn the prose order sentence, then you can sing poems. Otherwise, imagine if somebody suddenly want to learn how to do a poem. You have to go step by step. Algebra comes before calculus. That's why we have to go gradually. Like Bharatanatyam, for example, if a girl is doing Arangetram, it takes like 7, 8 years, I think, for them to practice. Suddenly you see a girl nicely dancing on the stage and you say, oh, she's dancing so beautifully. I also want to try out. Can any of us go and try? You'll become a laughing stock because you never practiced. Similarly, in the Bhakti path also, you have to go step by step to understand the higher and higher truths. Because otherwise, without that, if we try to understand very lofty things, we will just be confused and bewildered. And like it happened with me once in my seventh standard, my father is actually English teacher and a maths teacher. He was having a double degree in both, very highly qualified man. He was a professor. So he used to get 30, 40 students and teach them mathematics. So one day I went to the tuition hall. I picked up one of the BSc mathematics books. I just wanted to see how mathematics and higher stages will look like. My Lord, when I opened it, all elongated S. Big integral, triple integral. F of X, F of Y, F of Z. My Lord, I was so shocked. Will I have to study all these things? I came and told my father, mathematics is the most dangerous subject. My Lord, I cannot understand. My father said, Beta, why have you lost confidence? You are already getting sent down. What happened to you? Why suddenly you developed fear? Then I told him, I went to your room, I saw this book. He said, why did you see this book? That's why you have lost confidence. You don't know. Then he said, you are in 7th standard. Now I will get you 8th standard book. Then he gave me 8th standard book. That was generally in 7th standard, 8th standard book looks little difficult and little approachable also. When you finish 8th standard, that becomes cakewalk. Then 9th standard book appears little more difficult and then that also becomes approachable. So we need baby steps to go to the BSc or MSc mathematics. Same with spiritual life also. If you just try to understand some big things at an immature stage, we will just be bewildered and confused. So step by step one should go. Therefore, yesterday we did this. One more thing I did yesterday. Anybody remember? 10 reasons is a part of this only. The relationship is not maintained. And that also is a part of this. 10 reasons why we can't imitate Rasalila. This I spoke. That's all I spoke yesterday. And that is also part of this only. So this is about. I spoke about one very, very important thing towards the end yesterday. Probably I didn't give adequate time, which is Kubja's service attitude. And so what pleases Krishna the most? Service attitude. Then Dwaraka Queen's service attitude I spoke also. Remember that? What inspired Krishna the most when he saw the Dwaraka Queens? Was he attracted to their feminine beauty? It is mentioned. Uddhama bhava pishuna malaval guhasa. You put the word pishuna in P-I-S-U-N-A. You put up that word in Bhagavatam, word search, you will get the verse. Uddhama bhava pishuna malaval guhasa vridavaloka nihato madano piyasam sammuhyate ajahat pramadottamasta yasyendriyam vimatitum kuhakairna shekuhu. This verse says, although the Dwaraka queens were spotlessly beautiful, they wore very costly saris and jewelries and necklace and bangles, and they had feminine, bashful smiles and sidelong glances. With all these things, furtive glances, they were trying to charm Krishna. But Krishna was not the least affected by all this, it says. Yasya indriyam, Krishna's senses, vimatitum, agitated, kohakair nasheku, not agitated, he says. Krishna was not agitated. Any man in this world, if he sees a beautiful woman, naturally the Kamadev attacks him with a sugarcane bow and a flower arrow. There are 5 arrows Kamadev uses. So man is charmed by woman, woman by man in this world. Whereas Krishna was never agitated, it is mentioned there. Then what else attracted Krishna to the queens? That is their service attitude. About that I told yesterday. When Krishna would return home, return to the palace, they would remove his shoes and wash his feet and comb his hair and feed him prasad and fan standing next to him, correct now? So that is very, very charming for Krishna. Any devotee who tries to serve him with affection, Krishna is touched by a service. Then I gave you example. Even our mother, when she serves us, we get charmed. Correct or not? Huh? When she makes masala sambar, isn't it? You like ordinary dosa or special dosa? Special dosa, isn't it? So when mother makes a special dosa, it's stuffed with something inside, isn't it? So similarly, when mother serves, it's a special love. Huh? When you eat in a hotel, it's ordinary. In the same manner, when Krishna sees a devotee is coming to him with seva bhav, huh? That is very special for him. Oh, this devotee has such service attitude. He is touched by that service attitude. See, the service attitude has some amount of innocence to it. Huh? Innocence, nishkapatata completely. Huh? This is something very important to catch in the path of devotional service. Huh? How to render service with the heart and not make a show of service. Huh? That is even if there are mistakes in your service, when you do it with your heart and with a desire, a longing to please Krishna, that is very, very attractive to him. For example, Sudama, when he goes to Dwaraka, he asks his wife, how can I go with empty hands? Huh? When you go to Lord, Prabhupada says, when you come to temple, you should bring some flower, you should bring some fruit, bring some lamp, offer something to the Lord. Huh? You cannot give anything and satisfy him with the things. But if you bring it with affection, Lord is very touched by that. So then his wife looked at in the home, she didn't have anything to give. Huh? Then she went to the neighborhood acquaintances. And then she asked, can I get a little bit of palm full of chipped rice? Huh? So 3 or 4 mushti she got. Huh? She got some chipped rice. Huh? And then, but most important thing comes here. After getting the chipped rice, what she did? While cooking it, she was remembering Krishna. She knew from her husband that Krishna loved chipped rice very much during his Gurukul days. That is why she got chipped rice. That means we should have an intention to please the Lord, which is actually the root of Seva Bhav. Huh? There should be an intention to please Him. One time I asked the students, when you go to market and buy this bendi, bendi, lady's finger you call it, isn't it? So first thing you should do is to break and see. Correct, no? How many of you do that? You try? Correct, no? Yeah. So I asked the boys, why should you break it? They said, Prabhu, it's very easy to know whether it is tasty or not. Then only it will be tasty. I said, no. You should break and see. If it breaks well, then Krishna will be pleased. Because you are going to offer the bendi to whom? Krishna. Because if it will be tasty, if you say, that means you are directly thinking about eating it. Then how it becomes bhog? Correct, no? So anything you buy, we should have the habit of thinking, oh, this is going to be offered to whom? That is what is seva bhava. Huh? Like in Diwali time, our parents used to have new clothes for us. The day before, you would ask the mother and father, can we try wearing it, how it looks like? They'll say no. First keep it in front of God, put kumkum on 4 sides. Huh? Next day morning after oil bath only you can wear. Whole night we cannot sleep only. We'll be thinking, I'm going to wear a new dress tomorrow. Huh? But why they restricted us in trying to wear and see? It's actually a training that without giving Krishna, you should not accept anything. Even though we were small kids, we were forced, we were trained to always give it to God first and then only accept things. That's where the seva bhav lies. Service attitude means, opulence for Krishna, poverty for oneself. And if Krishna tastes and then gives me, then I will accept. Otherwise, I will not enjoy anything on my own. So Krishna saw that seva bhav in the queens of Dwaraka. He also saw a similar seva bhav in Kubja also, I told you, isn't it? And all great devotees have that service attitude. So, and the Vrindavan gopis are even more exalted. You all might have heard the story of how once Krishna got a headache and Narada Muni got the dust of, Krishna wanted dust of the devotees. Did anybody give other than gopis? Nobody was ready. And the gopis were ready to go to hell by giving the dust of their feet. They said, what a great deal, suffering in the hell. We can suffer in hell forever, they said, if this is going to cure Krishna's headache. So, gopis are the topmost devotees. So, that is the 4th point we discussed yesterday about the service attitude alone pleases Krishna. So, we gave the example of Kubja, Dwaraka, Ranis, etc. So this we gave yesterday. So a few points we learned. These are the things we learned yesterday. Huh? Today we let us try to go little ahead of this. So we'll understand about this. Who is Radharani? Huh? These things we can do. Yesterday I also told you about the rasa dance where even great souls like Narada, Shiva, and who else? Lakshmi. Hmm? They all try to enter. I told you. Okay. So that was also another thing I told you yesterday. Hmm? About flute also I said yesterday. Yeah, correct. Okay, we will write this also. Because that was in Rasa Leela point only we said, you know, even Shiva, Narada, and Lakshmi adore and worship Rasa Leela, isn't it? Then, actually, as a part of this service attitude only, I was telling you how flute, sacrificed family, performed austerity. Or the other one I said? It's a simple, yeah, simple hearted, simple and unpretentious. Correct. Now, these three qualities of flute, I said, correct? Isn't it? Huh? So, this is the last part I said yesterday. So, and today we will see about who is Srimati Radharani and what does Krishna think of Radharani. And Goswamis and Acharyas approached Radharani. I think if we finish, it's good enough. Huh? These three things. Yeah. So, to understand Radharani, let us go to here we have to also include Lord Chaitanya. Acharyas approached Srimati Radharani. There is one famous verse. Sri Chaitanya Prabhu Mande Yad Balobi Anugraha Nana Taren Nana Matagraha Vyaptam Siddhanta Sagaram. There's one verse which says, you see, the Siddhanta or the truths explained by various personalities, there are Diggaj personalities, like great elephants in the field of Siddhanta. Many philosophies are present in this world. One can get lost in them. They are like sharks and timingalas in the ocean. But a small baby put in the ocean can easily cross over if the child like Jiva, like all of us, is protected by Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. That's why we are going to approach through Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to understand Srimati Radharani. Okay. You see, uh, when you are understanding the subject of Radha, first we should begin with understanding of who is Radharani. When you say, understand Lakshmi first. Lakshmi. then Sita, then Dwaraka queens. Then come to Radharani, who is the source of all of them. Then he can come. I am not getting into the Chaitanya Charitamrita verses because we will surely get lost. There are a lot of verses. If you're going to get into one by one verse, we'll nicely recite and class will get over. That's why I'm trying to only get the summary of it. You see, regarding Lakshmi, in South India, people know very well famous verses. Ishanam jagatosya venkatapater vishnu param preyasim tat bhakshasthala nityavasarasikam takshanti samvardhinim padmalankrita pallavayugam padmasanastam shriyam vatsalyadi gunojjvalam bhagavatim vande jaganmataram. Very simple words, it's not very difficult. See, he says, Ishanam jagato asya, the Ishvara of this entire world. Who is it? Ishanam jagatosya venkatapate is telling. Venkatapate. Vem means suffering. Cut means to cut. The Lord who cuts the suffering of all his devotees. It's called Venkat or Venkatachalapati. Like they call him. Ishanam jagato asya Venkatapater Vishnor. Venkatapati is Vishnu only. Vishnur Param Preyasim. She is the supreme beloved of Lord Venkatachalapati. And what is her identity? Tat Bhakshasthala means in his chest. Tat Bhakshasthala Nitya Vasa Rasikam. She has an eternal residence in his chest as a golden hair, which is called as Shrivats. It's called as Shrivats. See, some terms you should remember, which will repeat in the Shastras. Lord Vishnu or Krishna, their color is always what color? Shamala Varna. It's always Shamala Varna. And Vishnu has how many hands? 4 hands. And what are the 4 weapons he has? Shanga Chakra Gadapadma. And what is the name of the necklace he wears? Anybody knows? Kaustubha jewel. It's called Kaustubha. What is the golden hair in his chest? It is a place for Lakshmi to reside. What is the difference between Vishnu Dutas and Vishnu? Who can say? Let us ask a child, we will ask him. Damodar, what is the difference between Vishnu Dutas and Vishnu? Now Vishnu, now I am not talking about Krishna and Vishnu, I am asking Vishnu and Vishnu Dutas. They also have 4 hands, they have Shankachakra Gada Padma also. They look very similar. Correct, no? In fact, one man asked in our Pune temple, Balaji temple, how is Vishnu outside? He was asking. I said, that's not Vishnu. Who is it? Vishnu Dutas, Dwarapalakas. They look similar to Vishnu, no? But there are 2 very main essential differences. Who knows? Yes? Golden line is our place for Lakshmi to reside, yes? Kaustubha jewel is only in the chest of Vishnu. The Kaustubha jewel and the golden hair. This distinguishes Vishnu from his devotees. Of course, Vishnu is master and devotees are servant. Just like Prime Minister of India has 1 head and 2 hands, 2 legs. All of us have 1 head, 2 hands, 2 legs. But you know the difference, right? No? And the powers that he possesses, what we possess is different. He can declare a holiday for whole country. Can we declare? Of course, you can declare, but nobody will listen. Listen. So, Lord's power is different from devotee's power. So, Tat Bhakshasthala Nitya Vasarasikam Takshanti Samvardhinim, residing in the heart of Vishnu, she has softened the heart of Vishnu, he says. Because anything in this world, you will see, it has a guna. Her guna is soft. So, because of her soft nature, she has rendered the heart of Narayana also soft by residing there. Like, for example, if somebody, once a Swami came and resided in one house of a devotee, within just 3 days, he did program and everything. That fellow, Mataji was a 16-ounder, but husband was not even chanting. He was a meat eater also. But in 3 days, he gave up meat and came to 16 rounds. So that is the effect of, association. Similarly, by her association, Lord Vishnu also tends to become more compassionate. She makes his heart soft, he says. And then he says, Padma Alankrita Pani Pallava Yugam Padma Sanastam Shriyam. She is seated in a lotus, wearing a lotus garland. And also, Padma Alankrita Pani Pallava Yugam. She is holding a lotus in her hand also and sitting in a lotus posture. Padmasan in Padma. She is sitting. What is she doing? Vatsalyadi Guna Ujjvalam Bhagavatim Vande Jaganmataram. She has many qualities, but the most prominent qualities is important for the devotees is what? Vatsalya. Hmm? She has the Vatsalya bhava towards all the jivas, he says. Like you all know, one time Lord Vishnu was giggling, laughing. So she asked, my dear Lord, why didn't you share your joy with me? Huh? Why are you, what makes you laugh? So Vishnu said, see, there is one devotee in South India, in Pratishtanapur. He's a poor fellow, poor bhakta. He has no money, but he has a great greed to serve me. So he went to the side of one holy river, sitting there, he closed his eyes and evoked the presence of gold and silver vessels. And then he cooked varieties of preparations, dozens of preparations for me. And then he offered it all in gold and silver vessels. Because in mind you can think, isn't it? You don't have to spend money to purchase. He thought like that. Manasa Puja he did. Finally put his finger in one sweet rice. And then actually he wanted to check whether it is cold or hot. But it was so hot, it burned his finger. He jumped up. And then he saw his finger had actually become black because of the heat of the sweet rice. Therefore I laughed, the Lord said. Lakshmi also laughed and she said, really? Such a wonderful devotee. Why didn't you arrange Garuda to bring him now? Vishnu said, okay, if you order me, how can I say no? And wife is asking for something, husband cannot say no. He immediately said, okay. Immediately he called for Garuda and told him to bring the Brahman to the Vaikuntha. That means, all of us are being recommended to the Lord by the internal potency to be taken back to Godhead. So we have to understand the value of this. One time I was distributing Prabhupada's books in the train. I gave one Bhagavad Gita to one man. He saw the Gita, he wanted to buy it. But his wife refused. She said, oh, we have so much luggage, so many bags, everything we have. And she said, these fellows come everywhere. You will find them. Any city you go, you can get it. Husband tried telling her, I like the cover, I like the picture and all. She said nothing doing. Then I was thinking how to convince. So next time I went to the train, first I would give it to the wife, Mataji. Mataji will see it and she will immediately keep it inside. Then she turned to husband and said, pay for it. So it's very difficult for a husband to say no. Generally, wife has chosen something. See, they can say no, but when they go home, they can't be peaceful. Better not say no. So if that works in this world, there also it works. So, in this is one verse. There's another verse also. Vatsalyadi, Adi means many more good qualities she has. But Vatsal is the prominent quality. Vatsalyadi, Guna Ujjvalam. Guna Ujjvalam. Bande Jagan Mataram. She is the mother of the whole world, he says. Then another verse, very famous one, many of you may be knowing. Matas samasta jagatam madhukaita bhare vaksho viharini manohara divyamurte Shri Swamini Shita Jana Priyadana Shile Shri Venkatesh Daite Tava Suprabhatam. Oh dear one who is very dear to Lord Venkatachalapati. Who are you? Matas samasta jagatam, you are mother of the whole world. And you are the wife of the personality who killed the Madhukaitava demons. And then Sri Swamini, see, he is Bhagavan, you are Bhagavati. He is Swami, you are Swamini. He is Shaktiman, you are Shakti. Like that he is saying. Sri Swamini, Shitajana Priyadana Shile. Anybody takes shelter of you, you award them all benedictions and you protect them and bring them back to Godhead. Yeah. Sri Venkatesha Daite Tava Suprabhatam. And then he's saying, Tava Suprabhatam Aravinda Lochane. Oh, lotus-eyed one. Oh, one who is most beautiful. Tava Suprabhatam Aravinda Lochane Bhavata Prasanna Mukhachandra Mandale. He's saying that your face is like a full moon. Like we say Radha Vrindavan Chandra. Vrindavan Chandra is beautiful, but Radharani is also like Chandra. Both. So she has but she is not an ordinary girl, as I told you yesterday. She has a divine form. What to speak of Radharani, even the heavenly damsels like Ramba, Urvashi, Menaka and all these personalities, they have ability to disappear in one place, reappear in another place. They can make their forms small, they can make their forms very big. And anything they want a weapon, they say immediately they'll get the weapon. Many things they can do, heavenly personalities. So, for example, Indra, his shadow doesn't fall on the ground. His leg doesn't touch the ground. The garland he wears remain fresh all day. His eyes never blink. Devatas are called as animesh. Devatas have so many abilities. What to speak of Radharani? She is the original goddess from whom everyone else has come. So, therefore, he is saying, Tavasa Prabhatam Aravinda Lochane, Bhavata Prasannamukha Chandramandali. She is always cheerful. Prasannamukha Chandramandali. She is always fearful like a full moon. Vidhi Shankarendra Vanita Virarchite. Vidhi means Brahma, Shankara is Shiva, Indra is Indra. So all their wives come and offer namaskar to Lakshmi. They all offer obeisance to Lakshmi daily. Which means they consider you worshipable, like that he says. Brishailanatha Dayite Dayanide. Oh, ocean of compassion, Lakshmi. You are the consort of Lord Venkatesha. In this way, these prayers give you an idea about Lakshmi. And that Lakshmi also is service personified. In the spiritual world, she is always making beautiful tulasi garlands for Lord Narayana. She goes to a pond and plucks, lotuses and makes lotus garland with her associates. She also has many, many associates. She is constantly rendering service in the spiritual world. She arranges for first class prasad also, cooking. Like you see in Jagannath Puri also, Lakshmi tells Jagannath, I'm giving you chapan bhog. Why do you want to go to Gundicha? Do you think they can cook better than me? She says, So that Lakshmi is sometimes surprised. His Holiness Radhavan Maharaj was speaking. Lakshmi is telling her associates, see, look at this fellow, Jagannath, what is this? What is in his mind? Just see. Generally, every husband likes to take his wife with him and go for outing, keeping her by his left side. Generally, wife should be, So he takes and goes. But this Jagannath, instead of keeping me, he's keeping his sister and brother. So brother and sister are next to him, and then there is no place here. And then she says, generally, this fellow is supposed to be here. I am giving him such kind of chapan bhog, but he want to go to Pundicha, which is considered to be Sundarachal. For Neelachal to Sundarachal. He goes. Why Krishna goes to Sundarachal? Because the sweetness of the Vrajavasis dealings with him, like the Gopas, Gopis, parents, and all the animals in Vrindavan, they are all in spontaneous affection for him. So the spontaneous affection is extremely charming than the official dutiful service. Like you ask somebody, oh, you're doing this pujari service today? Wonderful. Puja, I'm scheduled on every Monday, somebody says. Oh, okay. So you're doing because you are put on schedule. Somebody is doing on Friday, you see, oh, Prabhu, you're doing service. Prabhuji, I'm just waiting for opportunity in our temple. There is a competition for service. Everybody has occupied only once in 3 months they get chance. But this time one devotee got sick, so I immediately took advantage. I came on Friday also and I did. That is very special. Unscheduled service means special mercy. If somebody is willing to do like that, then the Lord is also amazed. How this devotee is so smart. He is always in a mood of taking up service because it is spontaneously rendered. So Vrindavan is a place where devotees render spontaneous service. That with Raga Bhakti, that is very, very attractive to Krishna's heart. Anybody who serves with love, not a very difficult thing to understand. Like imagine, before coming to Krishna consciousness, you might have gone to hotels. When you go to hotel, the waiter is serving you. But when you are at home, mother is serving you. It's not the same. Mother is serving with so much affection. See, my mother used to make this vellayappam. I don't know whether you know. Vellayappam means it's one type of appam. You all know. How many of you know appam? Appam, some people know, yeah. Appam is generally brown in color, correct? No? It's a sweet one. But there's another one, salt one. It used to be round. Same like the sweet one, but this will be with salt. And it will be puffing up like this. I used to be fond of it. So she would put 1, 2, 3, 4. After I finish also, I will say, enough, I will say, because I'll be shy that others will tease me if I eat too much. And she exactly knows my eyes and she will say, no, take 2 more. Isn't it? So mothers feed with so much affection. So Prabhupada also fed the hippies like that. Take more. Take as many gulab jamuns as you want. So then there is affection in that. So when you go to a hotel, it's a formal thing. You just click a menu, you take the menu and then they just give you and go. And the waiter, even if a waiter smiles, also it's smiling for a tip. There is no love that mother can give a child. So, therefore, Krishna is charmed by Vrindavan, so he takes permission from Lakshmi ji and goes to Vrindavan, you know, for 10 days during the Rath Yatra, then comes back, isn't it? From Neelachal to Chandrachal. Neelachala Shanka Chakra Gada Padmadar. We say, no? Some days you will find Jagannath with Shanka Chakra. No? Other days you will see him with flute and peacock feather also. That means Jagannath is playing both roles, Aishwarya role and Madhuri role, both he plays. So, anyway, you understand, Lakshmi ji is great. She is the Shakti of Narayana, and she's serving very faithfully, and she definitely attracts Narayana. But at the same time, Lakshmi is attracted to Krishna's rasa dance. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu went to South India, he went to Srirangam, and he asked Venkata Bhatta, who was a very ardent worshipper of Narayana, Lakshmi Narayana. He asked him, why does Lakshmi want to go and join the rasa dance? Why is she not satisfied sitting by the side of Narayana or massaging the feet of Vishnu? So Venkata Bhatta said, my dear Lord, what's wrong in that? Because Narayana and Krishna are not different. They're the same persons only, Krishna and Narayana. And even if she goes and dances, there is no unchastity by that. And Lord Chaitanya also agreed. He said, if somebody sees difference between Krishna, Rama and Narayana, Vishnu in the Siddhanta, he is an atheist. He is condemnable. One should not see difference in Tattva. But in Rasa, there is a difference. Narayana is worshipped with great pomp and Aishwarya Bhava. Just like in Tirupati Balaji temple, you go, you cannot stand for 1 minute also, they'll catch you and throw you. Because Balaji is VVVVIP. Very important person. So, yes, he is worshipped with very great Aishwarya, very, very costly mukut. Crores of and also you can see the golden dome and everything. Worshipped with great Aishwarya. But at the same time, Krishna wears a peacock feather, plays a flute. He doesn't carry any Shankha Chakra and all that. It's like the difference between a parliament prime minister versus prime minister at home. There's a big difference. So, prime minister in the parliament receives respect. Prime minister at home is bowing down to mother. So, totally different type of mood. So, at home, he cannot be a king. His brother, sister will deal with him very casually, and mother also is elder to him, and then he will be bowing down to mother. At home, he doesn't, show his official power as a prime minister of the country. Whereas when he goes to Parliament House in Delhi, you will see he's receiving so much respect from Army, Navy, Air Force, and everybody like that. Similarly, Krishna's parliament role is Narayan, and his or in Dwaraka also, Dwaraka or Vaikuntha. And his homely role is Brajendranandan, who is dealt with the spontaneous love. So, and Lord Chaitanya also said, the gopis, they are attracted to Krishna, but when they see Narayana, they are respectful. How do you know that? So Lord Chaitanya quoted one pastime which happened in Paita, one place called Paita. When Krishna left the Rasa Krida, the Rasa Stali, when he left, at that time, Krishna actually wanted to test the gopis. So he suddenly vanished from their midst. Actually, there are 8 reasons why he left the Rasa Stali. One or two I can tell you. See, one of the reasons is Krishna wanted to see the viraha of the gopis, and he wanted to relish that invisibly, how they are searching for him. And he wanted to hear the Gopi Gita. That's one reason. Another reason is every gopi was dancing with Krishna, thinking that Krishna is only dancing with me. So they became disunited in that sense. I am with my Krishna, so everybody was disunited. Krishna wanted to unite them all together. So he vanished. So now they were united in grief. So they all searched Krishna together like that. So many reasons given like that. So at that time, the gopis saw at a distance a bluish personality and they thought it is Krishna. So they all ran there. But then that was not Krishna, it was Narayan with 4 hands. So immediately they offered obeisances to Narayana and got up and asked, Sir, did you see our Krishna somewhere in this area? And Narayana showed the hand. You go straight. You will get Krishna there. So then they went in search of Krishna. So then Lord Chaitanya quoted this to Venkatapata and said, see, the gopis revered Narayana, but they loved Krishna. And Lakshmi serves Narayana, but also wants to join Krishna's rasa dance. That means Krishna appears to be more attractive. Is it not like that? He asked him. So how is it? Then Venkatapata told him, my dear Lord, you only explain this to me. And then Lord Chaitanya said, in Tattva, Narayana, Krishna, Rama, they are all one person only doing triple acting. But at the same time, even you will find a man in office has a different mood. He is in a scolding mood or something. At home, he is more amicable and more friendly at home. In home, even his son may climb on his shoulder, correct? No? He may, and he doesn't show his gun to anybody at home. When in the office, when he goes as a military officer, there his dealing is different. So basically, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu wanted to bring this point that even the Naga Patnis, in their prayer, they are saying that Lakshmi ji comes to Vrindavan in a place called Bilvavan, where she's sitting and doing meditation, praying to Srimati Radharani that give me a dust of your feet so that I can also enter rasa dance. She's adoring gopis and Radharani there. There's one verse. Tasyanubhavosya nadeva vidmahe tavangrirenusparasadikara yadvanchaya shrilalana charatapo vihaya kaman suchiram dritavrata. She has given up all her opulences in Vaikuntha and she has come to Vrindavan sitting in Bilvavan. Like this, she is sitting, praying. Generally, Lakshmi is like this. In Vaikuntha, she is giving gold coins to all her worshippers. Whereas in Vrindavan, she is praying for entry into rasa dance. And but Krishna told Lakshmi that you don't have to enter the rasa dance. Why? Because you cannot give up your Mahishi bhava. Mahishi means queen. You cannot give up the queen bhava. Because there you eat, in Vaikuntha, you eat naturally very opulent, prasad. Just like we make basmati rice and, with ghee and all opulent foods. But here, like our Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, Luchi Chini, Pudi Bali, he's saying, you have seen Rajabhog? Any of you have eaten Rajabhog? Rajabhog is made very opulently. Well, sometimes 9 or 12 items are made. For kings, it's made like that. But in Vrindavan, people eat simple. They may eat simple roti sabji. They may eat in Vrindavan. So he told her, and also Vrindavan, the gopis are taking the gobar and making gobar patties. And also they are tending to the cows and calves. And they are also tending to the babies. And they are making butter, the milk. So they are like rustic girls and simple life. And Lakshmi can only see them and she cannot imitate them. So Krishna said, I'll keep you in my chest as a golden hair. I already have a place for you. Because Narayana and Krishna both have the Srivatsa, same. So you can sit in my heart and you can watch the beautiful rasa dance. And she agreed. So in this way, from this you understand that Radharani is sportive Lakshmi and Krishna is sportive Vishnu. Is playful, naughty, mischievous, and that has its own charm. See, Krishna is so kind that eternally he has expanded himself into certain forms which can charm certain devotees. Like there are some devotees who want God to be truthful, straightforward, honest, never speaks lies, always keeps promises like that. How many of you want God to be like that? Honestly. Nobody here. Hey, come on. Gandhi was like that. Even I am like that also. I want people who are straightforward and everything, all those things. But who behaves like that? Anybody knows? Who? Lord Ramachandra. See, Lord Ramachandra is fasting till noon only. Whereas Krishna fasting till midnight. Rama appears in the day. Krishna appears in the night. Rama stayed in one place, Ayodhya. Thousands of 60,000, 70,000 years he ruled. And Krishna always moved. As soon as he was born, he was taken to Nanda Gokula. And from there also, all demons coming, go to Vrindavan, isn't it? And from Vrindavan, then go to Mathura. Then from Mathura, go to Dwaraka. Always moving. From Dwaraka, go to Hastinapur to help the Pandavas. And everybody is crying. When he leaves Vrindavan, Vrindavan is crying, hey, when will he come back? And then when he goes to Dwaraka, then Mathuravasis are crying. When he is leaving Dwaraka and going to Hastinapur, Dwarkavasis are asking, when are you coming back? When are you coming back? And he's leaving Hastinapur and coming to Dwaraka again. Kunti is crying. Can't leave us. So Krishna delights in keeping the devotees in desperation. Then only they'll be serious. Isn't it? So in this way, Krishna is moving and Lord Rama is fixed. And Rama takes Ekapatni Vrat. And Krishna says 16,108 queens. So this is another style, isn't it? Rama's style is different, Krishna's style is different. And Rama will never speak a lie. If he spoke a word, he will keep, Prana bhi jaye, vachana jaye. But Krishna is famous for telling lies, isn't it? Oh, Maya, I never stole butter. In one line, he can say 3 lies. But one should know why God is behaving so differently, the same God, to charm 2 different type of jivas. Some jivas are charmed by Krishna type God. Somebody is charmed by Rama type. Which one you are charmed by, Rama type or Krishna type? But some people don't like God being so mischievous. Like I told the boy, why did Krishna steal butter? He can go to Gopi's house and ask for butter. Gopi, I want butter, please give. And he should be honest. And I told him, hey, all butter in the world comes from Krishna only. He says, that is all right, but right now it is in the custody of the Gopi. So you should ask and take. I said, better read Ramayana, I told him. So, in this way, now Sita, if you see, Sita is also same Shakti. Lakshmi, Sita, Radharani, all in one category, Shaktis. But the original is Srimati Radharani, and she expands in these forms like Sita or Lakshmi or the queens of Dwaraka in these forms. So, Radha, just as Radha Krishna are inseparable, Lakshmi Narayana are inseparable, Sita Rama are also inseparable. One may sometimes wonder why Lord Rama is weeping, in the forest in Panchavati. So many devotees who read Ramayana, there's Karunaras, lot of Karunaras when Rama is weeping. So one time when Shiva and Parvati were going on the Akashmar, Shiva is never bewildered. Shiva actually came down and offered obeisances, but Parvati was not able to understand why this fellow is crying. She thought this is some Rajakumar crying. But then Shiva told her, you don't know, this is Bhagavan. Ultimate Bhagavan is doing some Leela. But she didn't believe. So he told her to go and do a test. So she disguised herself like Sita and went. But then Rama understood that Parvati Mata has come like this. He asked, hey, Parvati Mata, where is Shiva? He asked. So he offered her obeisances because he's doing Naralila. Who? Lord Ram. And Parvati felt ashamed. Although he came in disguise of Sita, still he understood that I am Parvati. So she sat on the ground. And then Rama, when he went in another direction, suddenly he displayed the Pattabhishek darshan to her. Where Sita, Ram, Lakshman, Hanuman, Bharat, Shatrughna, everybody was there, umbrella was there, flowers were showered by demigods, and Parvati felt totally ashamed. Here is Sita sitting next to him, why he was crying? She didn't understand. But as soon as she got up and left, again she saw Ram was crying, hey Sita, hey Sita. That sight of Pattabhishek vanished. Because Lord Ram does this step of Leela to increase the karuna in the heart of his devotees. The devotee's attachment to the Lord increases more. When you see a very near and dear one in some suffering, then you also take part in it. Correct, no? So one should not think of Krishna or Rama to be ordinary human beings. And that is 9.11 Bhagavad Gita is considered offensive. What is that famous verse? Avajananti mam mudha manushim tanumashritam. Don't think they are ordinary humans. Their bodies are made up of Sachidananda Swarupam. It's purely spiritual body. And that is proven many, many times. You will see no man can make stones float on a water. But Lord Rama made big, big boulders float in water. Not only float, Over that, hefty monkeys, hundreds and thousands of monkeys walked over this thing. Correct, no? Lord Rama also walked, Lakshman walked, Hanuman walked, all Vanaras walked over it. No human we can imitate such things, making the stones float, and also looking at the ocean and making it boil. Lord Ram did such things. Similarly, Krishna also swallowed the forest fire, lifted the Govardhan hill, and Krishna Balram jumped from Pravarshana mountain 90 miles high, and they never broke their leg. That's because he has a Sachidananda body. He says, Sambhavam, Prakritim Swamadishthaya, Sambhavami Atmamayaya. He says, I come with my spiritual body, he says. So, Lord is always spiritual, and he is always accompanied by his Shakti, who cannot be separated. So, regarding the Shakti, it is said, Lord eternally separated himself into two forms, Shaktiman and Shakti, Bhagavan and Bhagavati, Swami and Swamini. Why he did that? To increase the joy of the jivas. The jivas can see only father, but if they can also see mother and father, and then have some pastimes exchange, the Leela Aswadan, so they can relish. So, for example, when Shaktiman are separated, all the jivas, they cry, and they try to unite them by doing lot of service. Like Ram and Sita were separated by Ravana. And then the jivas go and find out where is Sita, and then wage a war against Ravan, making Setubandha, and lot of activity, correct, no? To bring, like for example, here we have Radha Vinod. We have the temple now. But for running the temple, you will need Lakshmi, correct, no? So bringing Lakshmi back to the Lord. Like Hanuman brought Sita back to Ram. Similarly, we also raise all the funds and put up festivals for the Lord and celebration. Somebody is sponsoring Prasad, somebody is sponsoring the flowers, somebody is sponsoring Rath Yatra festival, everything. So in this way, the jivas, when they preoccupy themselves with connecting the consort to the Lord, they get a lot of delight in that. They get a lot of joy. And the demons try to separate the two. Like Ravana, what is he trying to do? Separate. Not only you want to separate, he want to take the Shakti and enjoy himself. Today also you see all the atheistic fellows, they take grains and fruits and cereals and spices and water and wind and all the gold, silver, diamond from the earth, and they want to enjoy everything for themselves. So they're the demoniac. But what devotees do, devotees take everything and then use it in Lord's service. They build a temple for the Lord. They make an altar for the Lord. They worship and sing. So all opulences should be used in Lord's service. That is devotee. Demon means all opulence should be taken away from the Lord and used for my own enjoyment. Correct, no? So that is why you find Sita Ram, when they are separated and brought together. Now you will see that Sita Ram versus Lakshmi Narayan, there is a little more intimacy increased in Sita Ram relationship with the devotees. For example, Lord Ram is making friendship with Vanaras. Correct, no? Lord is making friendship with Guha, boatman. Lord Rama is making friendship with Vibhishana, Rakshasa. And then giving him shelter also. So his Saushalya is little more. And Narayana actually is always unapproachable, and there are two words used. Sripad Ramanacharya uses, one word is Paratvam and Saulabhatvam. He says Paratvam means Lord is extraordinary and is not approachable even to Shiva, Brahma, Indra, Chandra, Varuna, Vayu, all of them, when they go to Tirupati. And Saulabhatva means when Lord Narayana is pleased with his devotees, like an elephant can sometimes bow down and pick up somebody with a trunk and keep them on the back. Like that, Lord Saulabhatva means he makes himself available. Like Ajendra is calling, Lord Narayana came. Correct, no? So there are places you find Lord bends himself to the devotee's call, and he comes. Like Yashoda wanted to see Krishna's marriage. She never saw, because all marriages happened in Dwaraka. So then Krishna agreed to become Srinivas. He became Srinivas and Mother Yashoda became Bakula Devi. And then in this way, Prabhupada says when he went to Tirupati, he told that Balaji and Krishna are non-different. Bala means child, Ji means respectable. So who is a respectable child? Prabhupada asked the pujaris there. And then Prabhupada said, respectable child is the child who was born in the jail of Kamsa. So Krishna showed two forms there. He showed the Vishnu form first, and then he also showed Krishna form also. So when Devaki saw Vishnu form, she immediately offered obeisances. And Krishna was immediately thinking, my Lord, my mother, father are doing namaskar to me. Not very good. Instead of showing Vatsalya to me. Then he became a baby. Then immediately mother picked up the child and put on her lap and called, oh, this is my baby. So Krishna showed both the forms, Aishwarya form and Madhurya form like that. So in this way, if the intimacy becomes increased, as you go from Lakshmi to Sita to Radharani also. Mm. And what is Radharani's relationship with Krishna and the Jivas? Radharani charms Krishna by her devotion and she charms the Jivas by her Vatsalya, by her motherly affection, like that. That is what I told you, Vatsalyadi Gunajvalam Bhagavati Mande Jaganmataram. So her service attitude is oceanic. I told you, even little service attitude attracts Krishna. What about oceanic service attitude? It definitely will attract him. So, I'll just show you one. There's one verse I'm looking for. You will see that. See here, this verse, Kaviraj Goswami sings this. I can repeat this. Vishwavandya Yavatabhivandita Piyarama Rupanavya Yavanadi Sampadana Yatsama Shilahardalilaya cha sayatosti nadhika Makyamatma pada padmadasya dastu radhika. One of you can read this. Where's the mic with you? Read the translation.
Although the goddess of fortune, Lakshmi Devi, is adored by other youthful goddesses who are themselves glorified throughout all the universe, still she is nowhere near Sri Radhika in the matter of beauty, praiseworthy youthfulness, or other divine feminine opulences. There is no one in the material or spiritual worlds superior to Radhika in the expression of naturally loving pastimes. May Sri Radhika bestow upon me the service of her own lotus feet.
Rasalasya Gita Narma Sakkalali Pandita. Rasala. Prema Ramya Rupa Vesha Sadgunali Mandita. Vishwanavya Gopayo Shiralito Piyadhika. Makyamatma Pada Padmadasya Dastu Radhika. Read this, yeah.
She is very learned in many transcendental arts, such as performing in the rasa dance, singing, and joking. She is decorated with many divine qualities, such as loving nature, exquisite beauty, and wonderful garments and ornaments. Even among the cowherds damsels of Vraja, who are praised by the entire universe, she is the best in every way. May Sri Radhika bestow upon me the service of her own lotus feet.
See, she's learned in many transcendental arts such as Rasa, Lasya, Gita, Narma, in dancing in the Rasa dance. She's the best dancer, she's the best singer, she's the best joker. She's the best mimicry performer. She's the best cook. And like that, there are 64 kalas which originate from Srimati Radharani. Then it comes to Vaikuntha. Then it comes to heavenly planets. Then it comes down to earth also. But who is the origin of all these 64 kalas? Srimati Radharani. Like you can see, some of these kalas are so charming. If you have seen Bharatanatyam, If you have seen just like devotee was playing Mridangam so beautifully, huh? The sound is so, he says, Kirtana, Gaura Vihita Kirtana Shuni, Hridaya Anande Nacha. He says, similarly, when you Mridanga Vadya, Shunitamana, Avasara Sadayacha, he says in that song. So, you will see all these colors are very charming to the jivas also. But these colors are originally engaged by Srimati Radharani in the service of Krishna. Just like there is one song, আমি যমুনা পুলিনে কদম্ব কাননে কেহরিনো সখিয়া আমার শ্যাম বংশীধারে মণিবঞ্চ পরি লীলা কইলে রসগান তখন अष्टदलोपरि श्रीराधा श्रीहरि अष्टसखी परिजन तगन सुगीत नर्तने सब सखी गणे तुषीचे युगल गाने तकन कृष्ण लीला हेरी प्रकृति सुंदरी विस्तरी चे शोभावने हमें घरे न जाइबो वने प्रवेशिबो ओ लीला रसे रतारे. What he's saying, in the spiritual world there's a very big lotus with 8 petals. In each of the petals, the 8 sakhis are standing. One sakhi is playing mridanga, one is playing kartal, one is having a flower garland, one is having a painting, one is singing with kartals like this. So all this is saying that Tagon Sugita Nartane, Saba Saki Gane, some gopis are dancing also, and there is singing and dancing going on. And in the middle of that whirl of that lotus, who is there? Tushiche Yugala Dhane. Yugal, Radha Vinod, Radha Krishna is in the middle. And everybody else is singing and dancing around. So these are originally coming from the spiritual world. When they come to the material world, they come down, down, down. And even today, you are able to find some very good singers and very good, instrument players. And sometimes you find millions of people watching. Like you must have seen Surya Gayatri, for example, isn't it? Singing the songs, Emma Subbalakshmi, such a pronunciation. You find like that. Similarly, the violin players and instrument players, some of them are watched by millions of people because the performance is so nice even on earth. How much more it will be in heaven and how much more in spiritual world. Therefore, Lord Krishna says in the 15th chapter of the Gita, material world is an upside down reflection of the spiritual world. Like if you have a mango tree in the bank of a river, the same mango tree will be seen in the water, upside down. You can see this exactly looks the same. Even mango can be seen. But can you enjoy the mango below the water? It's visible to your eyes. It's like happiness in view, but out of experience, because it is a reflection. Therefore, in the material world, our life is mixed with happiness and misery. We have some imaginary, illusory happiness and terrible suffering also in this world. So, if one can, Krishna says, take the sword of knowledge and cut this upside down tree and go to the original tree where you will get to see all these things. Actually, there are many songs describing the beauty of a woman and her qualities. I remember there is a song which says that, her quality is like this, her smile is like this, her speech is like this, her walking is like this, her heart is like golden, and there are descriptions about the woman's beauty. But in this world, even if a woman is possessed with all these good qualities, her body is temporary. When she becomes 60, 70, 80, she passes away eventually. But people do not know where are these charming qualities of the woman coming, but they're originally in Radharani. Then we see them in Lakshmi, then we see in Sita, then below. Otherwise, so for Gaudiya Vaishnavas like all of us, it's very important to understand this Radha Tattva, because without understanding this, we are going to be charmed by some female character in this world. Because you will see that when boy and girl become young, boys are charmed by girls and girls are charmed by boys. When a boy is looking very charming, is very boyish, is doing athletic dancing or playing instruments, and he looks very charming, like a hero. Similarly, girls, they have their feminine attractions and feminine qualities. Boys are attracted, but if one can see that both the boy's body, girl's body, it's all made up of Panchamahabhut in this world. It's a perishable thing, but inside this body resides the jiva, which is a part and parcel of Krishna. And in that jiva's heart resides your love for Krishna, which is a drop of Radharani's love. The original romance goes on in spiritual realm, which is Radha and Krishna, Sita Ram. Like in Ramayana also, I remember once in Tamil Nadu, I went for 20 days katha. We heard it every day, 3 hours. So it was a Vaishnava speaker was speaking how Sita and Ram, they got connected. Like Ram is breaking that bow, isn't it? And how Sita garlands him. And so the union of Sita and Ram and marriage happening is a great joy to the devotees. So once you can relish the spiritual romance of Sita Ram, then you will never be charmed by our own Leela, of material romance. In this world, we are so much, like in India, when they conduct marriages, I don't know how many have seen traditional Vedic marriage, the little girl will be carried by her uncle on the shoulder. And then the boy will be carried. And then the girl will put the garland to the boy will put the garland to the girl. Correct, no? Bride and bridegroom. At the time, do you know what songs they sing? This is songs which are played for Balaji's marriage. For Balaji and Sridevi Bhudevi, marriage, Kalyanam, we conduct, no? We do Sita Kalyanam, Radha Kalyanam, Lakshmi Kalyanam. Whatever songs are sung, the same songs are sung even in traditional Vedic marriages. How many of you know this? Yeah. Why they sing, I will tell you. Even though the marriage is a mundane thing in this world, while doing this marriage, they are reminding themselves of the Lord's romance and Lord's marriage. Therefore, the Lord's songs are sung. So great devotees, when they see this ordinary marriage, a girl and boy are getting married and all the elders have come to bless them, shower flowers upon them and everything. They immediately remember Lakshmi Narayan. When they sing, those songs are sung for them also. That means I was thinking as mundane as simply for man, woman coming for enjoyment. It is not seen like that. And these are actually jivas who are supposed to come together in a sacred tie of marriage and then serve Lakshmi Narayan, Sita Ram, Radha Krishna, like that. So, therefore, we as we read the scriptures and go deep, we will understand Radha and Krishna relationship is one of pure love. There is not even a tinge of lust. In this world, the lust which connects man and woman, which ends in sex life, is especially kept for biological reproduction purpose. Other than that, the sex has no meaning. It's pain producing. Whereas the love in the heart, it is unending, everlasting, eternal love between Lord and the consort, or Lord and the jivas. So therefore, lust is a downward vector. Love is a upward vector. Love is actually, when you read Radha Krishna pastimes, when you know about her, our heart becomes purer and purer and purer. And we will want to advance more in spiritual life. Whereas when you hear the mundane movies, man woman movie, it pollutes our mind, contaminates our mind, and increases the inner pushing to do dirty activities. And those activities are more entangling and binding in this world. So that is why Gaudiya Vaishnava, these things are very beautifully explained. So, yeah, that I explained. And what does Krishna think of Radharani? And that's what I was about to show. It's getting a little late now. I will tell you what the Lord is thinking. See, Krishna says that Radharani's devotion to me is so exalted. Even I cannot understand. I'll tell you why he thought like that. One day, when Radha and Krishna were sitting, see, another very important point, Radharani's marriage, some people ask about Radharani's husband and everything. Actually, it's, I'll just show you. Shiva is speaking to Parvati about that. I'll show you that. See, here is Shiva, speaking to Parvati and all the other associates in Brahma Vaivarta Puran. It's recorded there. So what is he speaking? Let us see. See, this is what he is saying. Brahma Puran Kanda 2, Prakriti Kanda. He is saying that Gate Chatur Dashabde to Kamsa Bhitas Chalena cha Jagama Gokulam Krishna Shishurupi Jagatpati. Although Krishna is Jagatpati, he goes to Gokulam. In the pretext of Kamsabhaya, there is no Kamsabhaya. Actually, the idea is Krishna want to perform Leela in Nanda Gokulam to charm Yashodananda. So he created unnecessary fear in Devaki Vasudev so that they will tell him, please, please don't stay here, go to Nanda Gokulam. Even. And Krishna Mata Yashoda, Ya Rayana Tat Sahodaraha. He's saying that Krishna's mother Yashoda had one brother called Rayan. Goloke Gopa Krishnam Shaha Sambandhat Krishna Matulaha. He's saying in Goloka Vrindavan, he is actually a Gopa who is Amsha of Krishna. He's saying Krishna Amshaha. In another place it is said he is Krishna's shadow. It is said that Uncle Ryan. So that is one thing said here. So another verse I will show you. This is another verse. This is also from same Brahmaveta Puran. So here he is saying, Atite Dwadashabde tu Drishtva tam Navayavvanam Sardam Rayana Vaishyena Tat Sambandham Chakarasaha Chayam Samstapya Tadgehe Santar Sa Antardhana Mavapaha. What Radharani did? He says here, श्री महादेव जी ने कहा 12 वर्ष बीतने पर उन्हें नूतन यौवन में प्रवेश करती देख माता पिता ने रायन वैश्य के साथ उसका संबंध निश्चित कर दिया। उस समय श्री राधा घर में अपनी छाया को स्थापित करके स्वयं अंतर्धान हो गई। उस छाया के साथ ही उक्त रायन का विवाह हुआ। You see this? Similar to Maya Sita. How many of you know Maya Sita past time? You know? Yeah, if you don't know, you ask the neighbor. So those who raised a hand, they will tell you. If you get into that, a lot of time will go in that. Just like Sita left Maya Sita to Ravana, similarly here Radharani is leaving Chayam Samstapya Tadgehe. In that house she left her Chaya, which was married to Rayan, but the real Radharani was always with Krishna. He says. So here it says, Babuva Tasya Vaishyasya Vivahas Chayaya Saha. His marriage happened with that shadow of Radharani. So Rayan is Krishna's shadow. And here Radharani is leaving her shadow. So shadow are marrying. So it looks like they are husband, wife. But actual Radha and Krishna are together. You understand, no? So one should be clear about that if one has any doubts about that. So now, once when Krishna and Radharani and Krishna was sitting once in a garden, at that time, Madhumangal came and said, there was one bumblebee which was hovering in Radharani's feet, thinking it to be a lotus. She became afraid. She immediately took her feet and kept like this. But then the bumblebee came to her face and was rotating round and round. So she became very afraid. So Krishna told Madhu Mangal, hey Madhu Mangal, drive this Madhumakki away. So Madhu Mangal drove it away and said, he told, Krishna, Madhu is gone now, he said. Immediately Radharani burst into tears. Streams of tears came from her eyes. It formed a pond also, like that. And Krishna was amazed. He told her, hey Radha, why are you crying? I'm right here. But she actually cried at the prospect of Krishna leaving her. Krishna may, because he said, Madhu has gone away, Krishna may go away. She thought like that. So at that time, Krishna had a great thought in mind. Even in my presence, she feels my separation due to fear of losing me. What kind of heart Radharani has? I want to see that. So one day Krishna told Radharani in the spiritual world that I wish to see the nature of my devotees. I see my devotees are a million times more happy than me. I am supposed to be Supreme Lord, but they are more happy than me. So I am also thinking, when will I relish their happiness? And Radharani said, that's impossible for you. Why? Because the lotus can never know its own beauty. Huh? Somebody else looking at the lotus can know lotus beauty. And the lotus can never smell its own fragrance. Lotus can never understand its own honey. Huh? Who enjoys it? The bumblebees. Huh? Similarly, your devotees engage in your seva. And they are the ones who can relish. Huh? They can relish your beauty, your sweetness, your service. And Krishna thought, alas, this is a big loss for me. I think instead of being God, it would have been better to be a servant of God. Huh? Then he says, I will come as what? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Huh? So then he says, he wanted to know the greatness of Radharani's devotion. He wanted to taste his own sweetness because he cannot taste himself. He has to become a devotee to taste. And to know the experience she is feeling in the heart. Huh? Therefore he came. All of you can repeat this. Radha Krishna Pranaya Vritir Hladini Shakti Rasmat. एकात्मानावपि भुवि पुरा देहभेदं गतौ तौ चैतन्याख्यं प्रकटमधुना तद्भयं चैक्यमाप्तम् राधा भावद्युतिसुवलितं नौमि कृष्णस्वरूपम्. See, Radha Krishna Pranaya. Pranaya is a higher degree of love. Like we have, prem, we say. Then beyond the prem, there is sneha. Then there is pranaya. There is raga. There is anuraga. Bhava. Mahabhava. Madhunokya Mahabhava. That's a seventh order of love. And when you have that love, your body will be golden in color. Huh? Both Radharani and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, they both experience that love. So therefore, the bodily color is, just like, for example, if you become angry, your eyes will be red. Similarly, internal state of consciousness manifests the external body. So, pranaya is also higher degree love. So, the Radha Krishna they experience pure love. By that Vikriti, Hladini Shakti Rasmat. Hladini Shakti is actually Ananda potency, bliss potency of Radharani. Ekatma now, they are actually one only. Radha and Krishna are one. That is also said. Radha Krishna Yekatva Nuduyi Dehadari Anyonna Vilasa Kare Aswadana Kare. Radha and Krishna are one, but they have accepted two bodies. Why? For Rasa Aswadan, for performing Leelas, pastimes to give delight to the Jivas. In this way, Lord Chaitanya showed this to Ramananda Rai. He showed that Radha Krishna become one as Lord Chaitanya, and Lord Chaitanya also can divide into two and show his form as Radha and Krishna also. Both he showed. Ekatma now, they are one. But api bhuvipura, eternally, deha bhedam gatautau. They have accepted two forms. From the left side of Krishna, Radharani expands. And eternally she is on the left. That's why Gadadhar Pandit is also on which side? Left side you will find that. Chaitanyakam prakatam aduna tadvayam cha aikyam aptam. Again, as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, they have united together in one form. That means Chaitanya is Krishna, but coming in the mood of Radharani. Ramananda Rai is Arjuna, coming in the mood of Vishaka Sakhi. So, in this way, Radha Bhava Dyuti Suvalitam, Nami Krishna Swarupam. Carrying the Radha Bhava and Dyuti. He carries the mood of Radha and the color of Radha's body. He takes that. I offer my obeisances to Krishna Swarupam. This is about Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Radha Krishna. There is one more verse. Here Krishna, how he comes here. Prema rasa niryasa karite aswadan. Raga marga bhakti loke karite pracharan. Rasika Shekhara Krishna Parama Karuna. Ye du ye hetu haita ye charavadgama. See, Krishna comes in this world to relish rasa with his own devotees, pure devotees, to give them his darshan. And he also comes to teach Raga Marga in Vrindavan. He comes in Vrindavan in the 28th millennium of the 8th Manu. He comes and to prachara of that. And Krishna has two special qualities. One is his karuna, another one is his sportive nature. Some jivas are attracted by Krishna's playful nature, which is Rasika Shekhar. And another quality of Krishna is Parama Karuna. Okay, how many of you are attracted to Krishna's compassion potency? You are attracted to Krishna's compassion. Okay. How many are attracted to Krishna's playful nature? Yeah. So in this way, you will find all of us are attracted to any one of the two. Yei dui, these two karan. Because of that, ichara udgama. And love arises in the heart of the devotees. So he came for that. So, and then there is another verse. Uh, okay, that other verse, a very important verse, which is, this is the verse. Shri Radhaya pranaya mahima kidrisho vanayaiva swadyo yena adbhuta madhurima kidrisho vamadiyah. Saukyam chasya madanubhavatah kidrisham veti lobhat tad bhavadya samajani shachi garbha sindau harendu. This already I told you. To understand the greatness of Radharani and his love, that is Sri Radhayaha Pranaya Mahima. What is the great devotion and love in the heart of Radharani? Krishna wanted to understand it. And then he wanted to taste his own sweetness. Yena Adbhuta Madhurima. Kidrishova. What is it he wanted to taste? And then Saukyam Chasya Madanubhavataha. In my service, what kind of Saukyam or happiness my devotees feel? He wanted to check that. To know the devotees, the greatness of devotees' devotion is one thing, and what happiness they experience. Like we all dance, we sing, we do services, different type of services. Krishna is wondering how these fellows are going on serving me eternally. They never get tired. What kind of happiness are they getting? I want to taste that happiness. So that's the third thing. So the first thing is the greatness of the devotion. Whereas the third thing is the happiness the devotees experience. And then second thing is the sweetness of Krishna itself. So Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu comes for these purposes. So you can understand, even Krishna himself is charmed by the devotion of Radharani and the devotees. Because Radharani is the topmost devotee. He adopted her mood and came like that. So lastly, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Goswamis and Acharyas approached to Srimati Radharani. So that is very, very important for us. Last thing I will do. Is it all right if we take 15 minutes? No problem. All right. Because this is going to talk about the qualification to enter the confidential pastimes through Kapal books. Because this is something accessible for us. Easily accessible. See, right now we all are doing sadhana, chanting 16 rounds, following 4 regs. We have a sadhana deha now. But as we advance in spiritual life, eventually we will get a siddha deha. What is the difference between sadhana deha and siddha deha? For example, 6 Goswamis, the Goswami body is sadhana deha. But the Goswamis are also manjaris. Like Rupa Goswami is Rupa Manjari. Then there is Vilas Manjari, like Jiva Goswami. Similarly, Bhaktivinoda Thakur is Kamala Manjari. So they have a Manjari form also like that. The Manjari form is called Siddha Deha. And Siddha Deha is spiritual body. And Sadhana Deha means the spirit soul is right now in a material body. You understand the difference now? So when you do sadhana properly, as we advance in spiritual life, the Siddha Deha will get awakened. What happened to Siddha Deha when you come from spiritual world to here? It shrinks. And Prabhupada said it becomes like egg-shaped in this world. And the egg-shaped jiva is balagra shatabhagasya shatada kalpitasya cha we say, no? It's like a tip of the one-tenth of the tip of the hair. It becomes so small. And then it is residing in the region of the heart. And then the Atma is practically asleep because the body is taken over by the 3 gunas. But for many, many lifetimes, you come across devotees. Huh? They give you books, they give you mala, and then you start practicing Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare. So by this, the soul slowly starts waking up. Just like in your bed, also sometimes in the night you sleep in a crouched position, isn't it? In the morning, slowly get up and stretch your hands, legs. When you chant Hare Krishna and render devotion service, the soul starts slowly blossoming. Like Avrita Chetana, Mukullit Chetana, Sankuchit Chetana, Vikasit Chetana. Finally, Purna Vikasit Chetana. Soul is fully blossomed. And as much as you have woken up, your material attachments, attractions become reduced also. Then you act more as a devotee and less as a materialist. And when one is not awakening spiritual life, then one acts more as a materialist. There are two sides to our personality, correct? No? Even now we have a little mixture. Huh? Little syncretic tendencies are also there, and we want to do seva also. Huh? A mixture. But the seva bhav, as it increases, you become more and more blossomed spiritual personality. Huh? You are not only speaking, you are walking, you are thinking, you become completely, your consciousness become posted in spiritual platform like that. That time the Siddha Deha gets awakened. To quickly tell you about the Siddha Deha example, two examples come to my mind immediately. One is Jiva Goswami's Shiksha disciple. His name is Dukhi Krishna Das. Dukhi Krishna is a disciple of Hriday Chaitanya. So Jiva Goswami told him, he gave him one seva. Go to Seva Kunj and every day sweep the floor. So he was sweeping every day. It used to be very dusty in those days. He used to be sweeping. So one day he found one Nupur. He found. And then when he looked at it, it was studded with a lot of diamonds and everything, very attractive. He thought it may be Radharani's, because Radha Krishna and gopis come to dance in the night in Seva Kunj. They say that even all the monkeys also vacate that place. Even today, if you go to Seva Kunj, nobody goes there. Even today it happens. These leelas happen. So when he picked up, immediately one young beautiful girl came. That is actually Vishaka Saki. But he hid her spiritual effulgence and looked like some young beautiful girl. But when he saw her, he understood this must be Radharani's associate. So she asked it, my Swamini was dancing yesterday here. She lost her Nupu, did you find? And he said, yes, I have it with me. So she asked him, can you please give me? I will pass it to her. So he asked her, can you take me to her? I can give it to her directly, he said. She said, okay, if you want to give, you can give also. Then she took him to one tree. Underneath the tree, Radharani manifested herself. Immediately in her effulgent Kishori form, which is like 12 and a half years old form. She manifested a effulgent spiritual form. And this Dukhi Krishna fainted unconscious. But when he got up, he saw himself a gopi also. So he got the Siddha Deha also. And Vishaka was standing next to her. She was also a gopi. So Radharani, then he gave it to her. Radharani saw that it was the same one she was looking for. She became very pleased. She took that and put one impression on his forehead and made a tilak for him. And then she touched his head, blessed him and said, because you gave me happiness, I am Shyama. You gave happiness to Shyama. So your name will be Shyamananda Das. She gave him a name also. So here is one example. Another example is Srinivas Acharya in Bengal. One of the days, daily he would chant. But on that day when he was chanting, in chanting there are various stages. You will read about it in the Nectar of Instruction. First there is Shravana Dasha. Then there is a Varana Dasha. Then there is a Sampatti Dasha. As you proceed to higher and higher, there is a, when you do Smaran, then there is a Dharana, then there is a Dhyana, then there is Anusmriti, and then Samadhi. So he went to those higher stages of, see, Dharana means you are able to hold the holy name continuously without any distraction. Dharana. Dhyana means because you are able to hold the holy name, your whole attention is posted on the Krishna and Krishna's name, form, qualities, pastimes. You have entered into that dhyana. And Samadhi means you lost the external consciousness completely. Fully you got into the Siddha Deha mode. From this mode to material mode to spiritual mode. At that time his body became inert. And all relatives, friends became worried. What happened? All devotees came. They put one cotton near the nose. There was no breathing. They got shocked. What will happen? Huh? Then they wanted to call his most dear disciple, Ramachandra Kaviraj, but he was staying far away. It will take you 1 month to go and 1 month to come in those days. Huh? They're wondering it will be nice if he can come. And within a few minutes, he came. Ramachandra Kaviraj came. Huh? They said, thank you, thank you. How did you know that we are calling you? Huh? There was no phone call also in those days. Huh? So he arrived. Then they told him the problem. He said, don't worry, I'll find out where my guru has gone. Huh? So he sat down next to him and he also started meditating. And he chanted, slowly entered into his samadhi himself also. Now he is also not coming out. Huh? This is a big problem. Huh? Like when I'm giving brahmachari class in Pune, one fellow is missing, I'll tell him, hey, go and get him. He goes and he also does. Now it's a third person to get him. That's what happened. Huh? So they were wondering what to do now, what to do. What had happened was, in the spiritual world, when Radha Krishna were dancing with gopis, in one of the dances, Radharani's Nupur flew and fell in Yamuna there. Then all the gopis and Sakhis, they were all searching in the Yamuna waters. So when Ramachandra Kaviraj also went, his name is Karuna Manjari, there in his Siddha Deha. And he saw his guru. Who is his guru? Srinivas Acharya, correct, no? So Srinivas Acharya, his name is, okay, I will tell you his guru. His guru is Gopal Bhatta Goswami. Huh? Gopal Bhatta Goswami, his disciple is Srinivas Acharya. His disciple is Ramachandra Kaviraj. So Srinivas Acharya the Gopal Bhatta Goswami in the spiritual world, he had a Guna Manjari. Her name was Guna Manjari. So Guna Manjari was there, searching for it. So then Srinivas Acharya had gone there. So he is Mani Manjari. So Mani Manjari was also searching. Mani Manjari's disciple is who? Ramachandra Kaviraj. His name is Karuna Manjari. So all the three gurus were searching in their Siddha Deha. At last, our Karuna Manjari got it. So he didn't directly give it to Radharani. He gave it to his guru. And his guru gave it to his guru. And then it was given to Radharani, and Radharani became very pleased. And then she wanted to give something, so she took her tambul, peda, peda they call it? Bida they call it, I think. Bida is it? And peda is another one. This is bida they call it in South India. So she had a bida, which is, we call it a pan. So she gave it to Srinivas Acharya. What was his name? Mani Manjari. She gave it to Mani Manjari. And Mani Manjari felt happy. He thought that I didn't find it, my disciple found it. So he gave that to Karuna Manjari. So Karuna Manjari gratefully and thankfully tied it in her sari. And now that they have, the job is over, immediately Karuna Manjari returned back to the body, in the Ramchandra Kaviraj's body, with a loud Haribol. And all devotees are very happy. Now we will get some news, and he will tell us. Before he can explain the news, Srinivasacharya he also returned back into his sadhana deha. They both returned, and then they both narrated what happened in the spiritual world. We saw, and everybody felt a very great fragrance coming all around. What is it? Then he said, Radharani has given me one tambul. He saw in his dhoti it was tied. There it was tied in his sari. Here it is tied in his dhoti. He took it out. He showed it was so fragrant. It was miles distance. It was fragrant. And seeing that, when everybody heard it, they were so delighted. Immediately they started dancing. Hari Haraye Nama Krishna Yadavaya Namaha Haraye Yadavaya Madhavaya Kesavaya Namaha Chandera Tarana Sevi Bhakta Sanevas Janave Hoye Abhilash Nityam Gosai Jabe Braje Koilovas Radha Krishna Nitya Lila Korilo Prakash Anande Bolo Hari Bhaja Vrindavan Shri Guru Vaishnava Padma Jayama. Shri Guru Vaishnava Pad Padma Koriyash. Nama Sankirtana Kore Narottama Das. Haraya Nama Krishna Yadavaya Namaha. Yadavaya Madhavaya Kesavaya Namaha. Everybody danced and chanted, singing Gaur-Nitai's names. They became very delighted. So now, when you hear such pastimes, immediately our heart becomes very greedy. When will I know my Siddhadeha? Huh? So we should be very careful not to jump to get our Siddhadeha. Some people even go to Vrindavan and meet some gurus and ask, can you please tell me my Siddhadeha? There were some cheaters in Prabhupada's time who told some disciples, your Siddhadeha is you are a peacock in the spiritual world. Then this devotee came back to his temple and started moving his neck like this. Yeah. And Prabhupada said, what is happening to this fellow? Huh? Everybody said he's practicing to become a peacock. So don't do that. So therefore, I am showing this last section. To enter the confidential pastime, what you should do? See, Prabhupada's books are empowered translations. He has made the complex philosophy in a very simple, non-technical language. In a confidential pastime, also in a very simple way, Prabhupada has explained it. So, and he has given deep understanding yet in a very simple manner. So, and warnings also Prabhupada gives in his purports. Don't jump like a monkey. He says, go step by step, he says. So, okay, let us all check in whichever platform you are in, you can accept that slide. Here he says, unsteady devotees, they are agitated when they hear pastimes of Radha, Krishna, gopis and all. What they should do? Learn the basic philosophy from Prabhupada's basic books, small books. And Krishna Lila reading should be secondary. Prabhupada said, if you're reading Krishna book, you are agitated. Some boys become envious, Like Krishna is center and I have to serve him. Okay, then don't read Krishna book. Or Krishna is speaking to gopis, joking with gopis. One boy said, Oji, I am wondering why can't I also do that? I said, don't read Krishna book now. Then you read small books. First know the philosophy first. So, and then selfless seva should be rendered, attentive japa, and diligent study of Shastra. Do a lot of service. If a lot of passion is there in the body, do a lot of physical service. Go out on book distribution, go out on Harinam Sankirtan, cook, stir very big patela, sweet rice, water, cook, and take the Sankirtan boxes and put it in the van and do so much hard work night. When you lie down, you'll go to sleep immediately. Like that. And purify, one should gradually purify the unsteady devotees, okay? At the purified stage of steadiness, nishtha, what happens? We are free from anartha nivritti, anartha is gone, and then we are aloof from our affinity for the body and mind. And the sex urge gradually reduces, it practically goes away. Actually, our urge for anger, sex and greed is very, very realizable in this world, in conditioned stage. Everybody knows what it is. But when you become a nishtha devotee, even in the presence of so many allurements all around you, you will not be attracted because the higher taste has come. Param drishtva nivartate. So after becoming a fixed up devotee in nishtha, then study Krishna Leela, he says. Be introspective and honest enough to recognize our own level of advancement and practice according. Prabhupada used to say, first deserve, then desire. Okay, here is prescription for non-devotees, mixed devotees and neophyte devotees. For non-devotees, what they should hear? Hear about Krishna's divinity and greatness. Like, hear about Vishwarupa Darshanam. Or hear about, Krishna swallowing forest fire. Or Krishna going as a Shanti Doot. Akshay Patra pastime. By Krishna. So, see Krishna's greatness. Induce them to chant Hare Krishna. And they can read or hear pastimes of Krishna occasionally. Like, for example, Gita, Bhagavatam, Krishna book, and Sri Upanishad. These things they may read occasionally. These fellows may need more scientific approach. Therefore, we have discovered yourself. Correct, na? Because they have more faith in science than God. Then all those foolish ideas they have should be driven out. For that, we need science and spirituality type of topics. And avoid Bhagavata Saptahas, because most Bhagavata Saptahas in India, they speak Rasa Leela directly. Many of them. And they collect 5 lakh, 10 lakh rupees money also. Don't go for professional Saptahas. And don't read esoteric books by book merchants like Ras Bihari Lal and Sons. They have published hundreds and thousands of books. They will directly, many of the books are not written by proper Vaishnava Acharyas. Don't purchase any book in market and read about Krishna Lila, Radha Lila. Don't read that. You will get bewildered, confused. So this is the prescription for non-devotees. Then for mixed devotees, what they should do? Purify selfish motives. We have to watch selfish motives. Read and hear about incarnations of the Lord. What are they? Matsya, Kurma, Varaha, Narsingha. Hear about those incarnations. Because those incarnations show God's greatness. And pastimes of Krishna that reveal his opulence and divinity. For example, we read the Mahabharata. Krishna reveals his greatness 2 times. You see, he is Vishwrupadarshan in Bhagavad Gita and also Vishwrupadarshan in the palace of Dhritarashtra also. Many things you come to see Krishna's greatness. Even in Bhagavatam also, whichever pastimes reveal Krishna's greatness can be heard. Occasionally read Krishna's Vraja Leela, he says. That means Krishna's opulent Leela means Dwaraka Leela. One can hear Dwaraka Leela of Krishna. But Vraja Leela one may occasionally read. Keep a reverential distance from such topics. Read other books following Prabhupada's mood under guidance, which means if you want to read any books written by ISKCON devotees also, under guidance only you can read those books, because nowadays there are a lot of books within ISKCON also. If some book can aid you to understand Krishna's Leela properly, you can read or you can hear lectures from devotees. Like today's lecture, what I spoke, is pretty simple, correct, no? Easy to understand. So when you are hearing the Krishna Leela under the guidance of a devotee, it will be easy. On your own, reading may be difficult. Occasionally sing songs of Krishna Leelas in Braja. For example, simple songs like, Krishna Jin Ka Naam Hai, you can sing. But if you are singing the song which I sang now a few minutes ago, what is that? Yamuna Puline. Don't sing such songs. Because they're advanced songs. They're talking about Krishna, gopis and everything. So he says that occasionally sing songs of Krishna Leelas in Braja. There are many songs like that. And then learn to respect Srimati Radharani as a divine mother first. And that's why I spoke about Lakshmi being mother, and then Radharani I spoke. Actually, Radha and Krishna Leela, even a newcomer hears, they may enjoy. For example, once Krishna comes to Radharani, only wearing a flower dress that day. In the top portion of his body, he has not put any Angavastra. He's wearing only flower. Radharani is asking, hey, where is your Vasa? He's asking. Vasa means, where is your the Angavastra? So Krishna is saying, the Vasa that you are seeing is coming from my flowers, he's saying, which means Vasa is smell, the Sugandha. Vasa. She's saying, no, I didn't say that. I was asking about your Vas. You are not wearing. He said, oh, Radharani, my Vasa is in your eyes, he's saying. That means Vas means residence. My residence is in your eyes. So in this way, Krishna is called as a genius, one of the qualities of Krishna. But Radharani is called super genius. She is even more smart. Once Krishna goes and batters the door, Radharani knows who is battering. She's asking, who is that knocking my door with a single finger? Like that she's asking. And Krishna is saying, I am Madhav who has come, open the door, he's saying. She's saying, Madhav? Madhav means spring season. Has spring season come to my door? She's asking. He's saying, no. I am the wielder of disc who has come, open the door, he says. She's saying, the wielder of disc is a kumhar, potter. Is potter tapping my door? She's asking. He says, no, I'm the crusher of serpents. Who is calling you? Then she said, Garuda is the one who crushes serpents. Has Garuda come to my door? She's asking. Then he says, hey, no. I am master of Garuda who has come here. Like that he says. So in this way, Krishna teases Radharani, Radharani teases Krishna. There are many pastimes like that. Playful pastimes. But before we can enter into such pastimes, one has to respect Radharani as a divine mother first. Because sometimes boys come and cry to me. They say, Prabhu, when I came to Radha Mandavan Chandra temple, when I see Radharani, I see her as a beautiful girl. Some bad thoughts come in my mind. Some people say like that. Then we say, just look at the feet of Radha and Krishna. Don't look at them and think dirty things, because you are on a material platform now. So many impure conditionings are there, due to which you think of them to be like ordinary boy and girl. Then you only look at their feet, then chant more, read more. That is why then you read the five tattvas, Ishvara, Jeev, Prakriti, Kala and Karma. Thoroughly read it. When you read Bhagavad Gita, thoroughly understand it. When your foundation is very strong, such dirty thoughts won't come in the mind, because beyond that you go to Bhagavatam, where Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, Sarvadharman Parityaja. Bhagavatam starts with that. What he says in Bhagavatam, Dharma, Projita Kaitavata Paramo. Where Bhagavatam ends, Chaitanya Charitamrita starts there. Nama Sankirtanam is like that. So, chant Hare Krishna and endeavor to give up offenses. Purify the heart by worshipping the Gaurnita deities. Through Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, we can easily understand Radha Krishna. Now, neophyte devotees, what they should do. See, this fellow is a mixed devotee, means is Chaturvida Bhajante Mam, those fellows. You know, who are they? Artho, Artharthi, Jnasa and Jnani. They are mixed devotees. And then, who is superior to mixed devotee? It's a neophyte devotee, which is Kanishtadhikari. Once you come to Kanishtadhikari stage, what do you do? He may even purposefully read Krishna Leela, because Kanishtadhikari has wholeheartedly accepted Krishna is my Lord. No other devatas. He will not go to anybody. He will accept only Krishna. And not only that, he is not going to Krishna only for material benefits. He knows that doing Krishna Bhakti is the goal of my life. Then he can directly read Krishna book regularly. Those who have started chanting 16 rounds, following 4 regs, and you wanted to accept Krishna as the ultimate goal of life, you can read Krishna book also. Occasionally or briefly in a regulated way. Avoid purposefully reading Gopi Leela. If somebody is reading Gopis, meeting Krishna and Rasa dance, and the talks of Krishna and the Gopis is like the frivolous talk of boys and girls, if you are disturbed by that, one should not repeatedly read those sections. Read the other pastimes, Krishna's demons in Vrindavan Leela. During the COVID, I spoke the entire 23 demons. In English and Hindi, I spoke, because that's very good for this stage devotees. If you are reading demons in Vrindavan Leela, there's a twin advantage in that. Krishna Leela is sweet, and killing the demons also means in our heart also demons come. Our heart is like Vrindavan, where we want Krishna to come, but along with Krishna, demons also come. So how Krishna kills the demons, if you read, your anarthas also will be removed. So we should pray for relief from unwanted habits and other obstacles to devotion. And in chanting Hare Krishna, try to improve the quality. And try to adopt the mood of Srinivasa efficiency. Look at this fellow, my Lord, very intense fellow. Intense prayer is doing, isn't it? So then neophyte devotees should learn such intensity, and then we purify and go ahead. Then pure devotees with weak faith. So, Anya Bilashita, Shwanyam Jnana Karmadi, Anavritam. Those who follow this, but whose faith is still Komal Shraddha, Kanishta Madhyam Uttam. In that as you go, that means this is Kanishta. Here topics that steady them in devotional practices, elevate them above bodily consumption. Should study philosophical truths, learn to apply. Because some people have, why is it called as pure devotee with weak faith? His bhakti is very powerful, but his knowledge of philosophy is weak. That is his problem. His knowledge of Prabhupada's books is very weak, but he has implicit faith in devotees, Krishna. You've seen people like that right now? So do Nama Sankirtan, preaching and study of philosophical truths. And adopt the mood of Chaitanya's associates. Read that, one of you.
Consider themselves instruments in helping him taste Krishna's sweetness. Do not intrude into Lord's moods. Do not directly enter Krishna's pastime. Rather, they always remain servants of his transcendental aspirations.
Yeah, Goswami is always, it will come, I think. It will come. See, how to take Radharani's shelter? We need to serve the mission of Lord Chaitanya and Nityananda. They reveal to us how to take shelter of Radharani. That is taught by them. For example, to fulfill our desires, do we take shelter of our intelligence, creativity, power, anger, humility? What do we do? We should, we have shown Radharani and Durga in dangerous form. Do you want to be under Radharani shelter of Antaranga Shakti or Bahiranga Shakti? So Radha and Krishna are one, but they are separated into two for the pastimes. You know this famous verse, Mahatmanas Mahampartha, correct? That verse talks about, and take shelter of Radharani. Prabhupada says, you see, although we have got Krishna's qualities, still we sometimes fall down. So we require protection. Therefore, we chant Hare Krishna, not alone Krishna. We first of all take shelter of Krishna's Daivi Maya Radharani, like that Prabhupada says. So, actually taking shelter of Radharani means engaging in all the internal potential activities like in ISKCON, what Prabhupada has given us. Waking up in the morning, chanting, aratis, attending Bhagavatam class, japa, and then services. All these things are under internal potency. So devotees in Vrindavan put themselves in Radharani's care, always, and they are obedient to her. And she is our leader who is teaching us how to become a devotee. So he who has grasped hold of lotus feet of Radha with great care obtains the lotus feet of Krishna, which are like priceless jewels, Bhaktivinoda Thakur says in Gitavali. How do you worship her? Deity form, by seeing her, decorating her, cooking for her, chanting for her. Prabhupada is saying, Radharani, kindly be merciful and tell about me to your Krishna. Your Krishna. Krishna is yours, like that he says, Prabhupada says. Yeah. And Prabhupada is saying, my mother, Radharani, Jagannatha, if you kindly take this flower and offer it to Krishna, then, Radharani says, you have brought a flower. Wonderful. She offers to Krishna, like you see in the picture she's offering. And in this way, we can very easily. This is Uddhava who was coming in. When he was telling about Krishna, all the gopis started enacting the pastimes. So, this is the verse I said. Okay. So, you all got an idea now, what we should. So, one last para of Goswamis we will sing. You all know that famous one. He Radhe Vraja Devi ke chalalite, He Nanda Suno Kuta, Shri Govardhana Kalpa Pada Patale, Kalindi Vane Kuta, Goshantabiti Sarvato Vrajapure, Khedairmahavihvalo, Vande Rupa Sanatanau Raghuyugo, Shri Jiva Gopalakau, Vande Rupa Sanatanau Raghuyugo, Shri Jiva Gopalakau. Although the Goswamis were performing 2 lakh names every day, some of them did 1 lakh or 2 lakh names of Krishna, which means we all chant 25,000 names, 16 rounds. 2 lakh names means 8 times what we are chanting. It's like 128 rounds they were chanting. And many of the Goswamis could also see Radha and Krishna also, eye to eye. Once when Raghunath Das Goswami was sitting near the Radha Kund and chanting, sun was very hot. So Radharani came and stood by his side with her veil. She was covering his head. So when Sanatan saw that, Sanatan Goswami, he was shocked. Instead of chanting Radha Krishna's names and serving them, Radharani is serving him, he thought. Then another day in Radha Kund, one tiger came to drink water. So Krishna was standing next to the tiger with a stick in the hand. So that day, Sanatan told Raghunath Das, Gosaiji, Radha and Krishna serving you, do you know? He said, I am unaware. He was closing his eyes and chanting. So please make a kutia. That day he made a kutia, cottage. So in this way, Goswamis are seeing Radha Krishna day in and day out. But they are asking, oh Radha, where are you? Oh Krishna, where are you? Are you in Govardhan foot? Are you in Kadambakanan? So Prabhupada adopted the same mood. Because Prabhupada is a strict follower of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Goswamis and Acharyas and Guru Parampara. So Prabhupada books reveal to us what kind of mood we should take in approaching these pastimes. Shrimati Radharani ki, Shri Shri Vinod ki, Shri Shri Gaur Nitai ki, Shri Shri Jagannath Balsudhara Maharani ki, Srila Prabhupada ki, Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki, Kaliyuga Pavan Harinam Sankirtan ki. Jai. Thank you very much.
Hare Krishna. His Grace Radheshyam Prabhu ki jai.